Welcome back to the show. My next guest wears many hats. He's an actor, a librarian, and he has just written his debut novel. I am joined by Robert Bockstael. Brand new novel called Willow's Run. Maybe an album's coming out too. You're that talented. Great to have you here, Robert.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Derek.
Before we talk about the novel, just give everybody an idea, a little bit of your background. We were just talking quickly about many of the things that you've done. It's been an incredible career you've had.
Well, thank you. I've been in show business almost all my life, for almost 4 decades now. I started as an actor, theater actor, became a film, TV actor, director, writer, producer. But when I was about 49, I stepped back. I started losing my hair. The parts were getting a little, few and far between.
Okay.
And decided to stay at home with my son. And I looked around. At that time, I was living in the near north, around Parry Sound, Ontario.
Okay.
And I looked around looking for something, that I could do that would be interesting. And I got a job barcoding books.
Really?
At a library.
Okay.
And I loved the environment so much, and I've been an avid reader all my life.
Right.
The CEO said, by the way, if you like this kind of work, we have funds that we can put you through school and you can become a librarian. So I took them up on it.
Really?
I took an accelerated course. I went back to school at 49.
Okay.
And within 2 years, I was a librarian. I had my own little rural branch library. And
I
loved it. Yeah, it was fabulous.
So fascinating.
And that's when I started writing. I decided to write long form. I had lots of time. It was quiet. I was surrounded by books. I was out of show business. No one was lying to me anymore. And so, so that's
I won't lie to you, I promise. Even though I'm in show business, I promise not to lie to you. Well, that's fascinating. So you decided to write a book. Did you have anything in mind, or was that a process in itself, trying to figure out a storyline that you wanted to write about?
Well, interestingly enough, I was in development with Global Television for a series for 2 years, years ago, and everything changed, and I walked away from it. But I did walk away with that material.
Okay.
And this is loosely based. There's one event in this book that is based on a key event in that series.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what was my starting point. I had that little thing that I could build from.
Are you allowed to share that key event, or is that giving away too much?
No, it's giving away too much.
Okay, I don't want to give away too much. Well, okay, but you can give away something. So how would you then describe the story itself?
Well, Willow's Run is a thriller, really. I don't know that I intended it to be, but it is. Okay. Every chapter is basically a cliffhanger. And it's about a woman, a really unique female protagonist, 6'6", ex-Olympian, who is on the run from a very violent man, her husband. And she ends up in some unusual circumstances, making some new friends in this very spooky small town, while her husband is still out there looking for her. And she uncovers the dark past of this town.
Interesting.
One of the main things that I'm getting back from this, from readers, is I get emails from people saying that it's my fault they're late for work.
It's a page turner, of course, right? Because as you said, it's a cliffhanger, right? In every chapter, and that's what keeps people going. You mentioned it took you 9 years. Tell me about, is it a frustrating process?
No.
Was it? No, it wasn't at all?
Well, I wasn't writing this thing full time.
I see.
So, the first draft I wrote all in one go. And it took me a long time. It was a really, really big document. So I kind of stepped back from it after a while. And then I went back for a second draft. Each draft that I've gone back for, I had to brace myself because it was such a big event each time I would do a new draft. So over the course of 19 drafts, it was difficult, but it was an amazing learning experience for me. And I got to say, they tell you this, writers tell you this, it's not a solo project. You never do these things alone. And there was an incredible team of people who worked with me over the years, especially my wife, Catherine.
Because I think many of us romanticize writing, right? Because, you mentioned rural community, and I picture, there's Robert in his little studio, in his attic and his old typewriter writing away. Was there any romance to that?
The first draft is amazing. You're totally free. You can write whatever you want. And then when you go back to read it, it's just awful. It stinks. But it was fun. I had this little bunkie. We lived out in the country.
Okay.
And it was over the lake, looking over the lake. And I wrote everything by hand, by candlelight. I had no technology at all.
I love it.
And it was kind of romantic.
Yeah.
It was hard to do that discipline of working and writing 1,000 words every single day, regardless.
Good for you. Holy cow.
That was challenging, but ultimately very rewarding.
Robert, where can people pick up a copy of the book? And I see that you have, different styles here for everybody.
It is available worldwide, online, on a whole bunch of platforms, in all formats. I've got paperback, I've got hardcover, I've got large print format. I narrated the audiobook.
Oh, excellent.
It's available in Audible and a number of other things. And it's available as an ebook, which is on sale on Amazon right now for $2.99.
Wow. Well, I mean, just I'm just imagining you telling the story. I would love to.
It was fun.
I've got to get the audiobook for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome.
Robert, are you working on another one right now?
Yes, I've written another one. I wrote another book during the pandemic, and I'm in rewrites right now. It's called She Carried the Sea. It's more of a kind of a Nova Scotia ghost story.
You're on your 19th draft on that one?
Third.
Okay.
Long way to go.
Well, we'd love to have you back, Robert, and congratulations again. Willow's Run is available everywhere. Soft cover, hardcover, and those large fonts, which I absolutely love. We'll be right back after this.